Welcome to YouTube Idol's final stage and the first theme. Enjoy!
Hi, it's Ash. I know it's really difficult to start right out the gate with a group challenge, but I'm anxious to see who rose to the occasion and who will be moving on to the next stage and who will unfortunately be eliminated.
Group themes can either go all right or all wrong, but once it succeeds, it is definitely my favorite theme, and I know it's one of the reasons some people even audition. And by putting it first, I think it will show early on who is here for the long run and who isn't. It's very difficult to work together online on a song, especially in groups of 3 as it was this time. So I must say I'm really proud of all 11 contestants for showing just how much you want this. It's going to be a tough battle.
My thoughts on this round were a little iffy. You could have had a really good team and really good communication, or a decent team and bad communication. So I think this round went okay, but it could have been a little better.
Hi, I'm Tess, and my group was me and Ash, and we decided to do Worth It by Fifth Harmony. And, you know, we really kind of struggled to come up with the song and to work in a team, and that was really difficult. So we finally did manage, and I hope you all like it. Thanks so much.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Give me, I'm worth it. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Give me, I'm worth it. I tell her bring it back like she left some. Bring it back like she left some. In the club with the lights off, what you acting shy for? Come and show me that you're with it, with it, with it, with it, with it. Stop playing now, you know that I'm with it, with it, with it, with it, with it. What you acting shy for?
Just give me you, just give me you, just give me you. That's all I wanna do. And if what they say is true, if it's true, I might give me to you. I might talk a lot of stuff, guaranteed I can back it up. I think I might call you bluff. Hurry up, I'm working out front.
You see me in the spotlight, ooh, I'll be your style. Show me what you got, cause I don't wanna waste my time. You see me in the spotlight, ooh, I'll be your style. Show me what you got now, come on, make it worth my while.
Give it to me, I'm
Worth it, baby, I'm worth it.
Hey, I understand it was difficult to communicate for your group, but it seems like you let that defeat you. Your performance was banal at best and pretty cringy at worst. This is partially because of song selection, I know, but mostly it's because of your attitude and energy, or should I say, lack thereof. It felt kind of flat and like you were uncomfortable with the song, but Tess's tone was much smoother and seemed to fit the song a little better, whereas Ash sounds uncomfortable and almost irritated, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to attack either of you, I just know you're capable of producing a much better product.
Tess, I find it very odd listening to you sing in this genre, as it's very different from what you've done before, but you suited it surprisingly well. Your deep, mature voice gave a nice feel to this song, and it was a nice contrast to Ash's more higher voice. The energy could have been better, especially for you, Tess. You sang it more straight than Ash did. You did a lot of straight tone singing, which I'm still haunted by, in a bad way. Ash added more ugly pretty singing, as I would call it for lack of a better term. She brought it further away from the status quo, and it did fall flat at certain moments for both of you. Don't be afraid to go crazy and add a bit of acting in a song as well, especially in a song like this. I'm not a big fan of hip-hop, but one thing I do like about it is that rappers often take more liberties to express themselves in different ways. Why not shout to the audience to get our attention, or add more interjections? Seemingly small stuff like that really make a big difference for energy and the overall impression of the performance. You did do that to an extent, but you could have done a better job with that. I always say it's easier to pull back energy than to bring more, so don't be afraid to exaggerate. So while I do think you could have done better, I still say you did pretty good.
Hello, my name is Kiba Walker, and I'm a part of Team Showtime with Ceonn and Ginga, and we will be singing Incomplete by the Backstreet Boys. It's one of my favorite songs of all time, as I love boy bands, so I hope you guys enjoy our rendition.
Hi guys, Ceonn here. One of the best parts about mixing this song was working with such amazingly talented people, and I hope that good friendships sprout from this because I'd love to work with these guys again. So, please enjoy our cover, and yeah, leave a like and favorite and subscribe and I don't know what else to say.
Hey everybody, I'm Ginga and I'm super excited to be working with such talented guys like Ceonn and Kiba. Showtime is a great collaboration and we hope you enjoy our rendition of Incomplete by Backstreet Boys. Check it out.
But without you all I'm going to be is incomplete.
Ceonn, I really like your clear dictation and breath support. In this performance, you demonstrated great use of your diaphragm and your voice had this professional quality. Please be mindful, however, of maintaining that support for the entire song. I did notice that toward the end, some of the energy I had been feeling from the beginning of the song had faded. Overall, I think that you did a wonderful job and I look forward to hearing more from you. Ginga, I like your voice, but the song seemed a little bit flat for me. I'm not sure if it's the recording equipment that you are using, but there were areas of the song that I felt were a bit out of place. It sort of sounds like you're singing from your chest instead of singing from your diaphragm. I would advise you to experiment with your singing style that you currently have because you have this beautiful, unique sounding voice, but it's missing that added support. Once you've added that element into your performance, I believe that it's going to make your performance sound richer and fuller, and your voice is really going to come through and shine. Kiba, you have a clear and bright voice. I did notice that you struggled a little bit with the higher notes, and the strain on your voice produced some unpleasant sharpness. When reaching for those higher notes, a lot of people tend to tilt their head up or down for lower notes, when in fact it puts a strain on your larynx, cutting off your vocal range. I would recommend keeping your posture straight and your head as level as though you were speaking to somebody of your own height. You've got a great talent. I just think you need to work on the details.
Hi Showtime. I liked your harmonies the best out of everyone's. They sat really well with me and they fit the song well. The final chorus was very punchy and effective. I didn't expect your voices to blend very well, but you proved me wrong. None of you hid from your parts, which is fantastic. It's really easy to disappear in these group themes. Kiba, some of your diphthongs and evals were on the piercing side, but I do like how you kept an edge to your vocals to this song. There are just sometimes you need to make it a little bit taller. It would be really easy to get lazy with articulation in this song, but I don't think any of you did extremely poorly in that regard. I think it was okay. Actually, everyone sounded pretty committed to the song and style, which is great to listen to. If anything, I would have preferred if you had all agreed on how much vibrato to use, but that's just nitpicking.
I had very high expectations for you three, and you surely fulfilled them. This is a masterpiece. You are proving that it is possible to succeed with collabing together in a group theme, and to do it really well too. Each of your voices came through very well in this piece. All of you have strong voices and you utilized your power in this beautiful Backstreet Boys song. You made sure each of you got a chance to shine solo and also had many harmonizing parts. Overall, it was very nice to listen to. Although I must say there were some minor problems with pitch for you, Ginga and Ceonn, mostly in the beginning of some phrases and also on some of the long notes, especially towards the end. That can only be trained away with more practice and by training your ear. I will link a tone deafness test in the description, and no, I'm not implying you are tone deaf. It's just something that might help you train your ear. On a positive note for you, Ginga, you always make me smile at each of your submissions, and that is an amazing quality to have. You always bring a lot of energy and positivity in a way that I don't think anyone else has ever done in this competition. And Ceonn, you have great mask resonance, which propels your voice forward so strongly. You are not afraid of pushing your limits, and I'm actually starting to wonder if you even have any limits, apart from not so perfect pitch in this entry, but I hope it was a one-time mistake. Your submissions have been top-notch so far. And Kiba, your voice has this amazing clarity, and being pitch perfect has been a rule rather than an exception in your case, which is one of the building blocks in becoming a successful singer. You were perfect in this entry. I can tell you three really want this, and I hope you will continue to do this well, because if there's anything I've learned after 2.5 seasons, it is to never take anything for granted.
Hi, I'm Robert James. At the beginning of this round, I was a little concerned about how to get 3 people to put a song together over the internet, but after the editing was finished, I have to say I was very happy with the results.
Hi, I'm Star. At the beginning of this challenge, I was very nervous because putting a song together with people you've never met before over the internet is very intimidating. But I was partnered with 2 amazing people, and I think we managed to come up with a really great end product.
Hey there folks, Hoodoo here. For the boy/girl band round, I found myself a bit at a loss just because I grew up with stuff like TLC or Boys to Men, so when it came to pick a band, I deferred to my younger teammates and they picked out a great song. Here's Lovebug by the Jonas Brothers. Hope you enjoy.
Called it for the first time yesterday. Finally found the missing part of me. We felt so close, but you were far away. Left me without anything to say. Now I'm speechless, over the edge, I'm just breathless. I never thought that I'd catch this love bug again. Hopeless, head over heels in the moment. I never thought that I'd get hit by this love bug again.
I can't get your smile out of my mind.
Can't get you out of my mind.
I think about your eyes all the time. You're beautiful, but you don't even try.
You don't even try.
Modesty is just so hard to find. Now I'm speechless, over the edge, I'm just breathless. I never thought that I'd catch this love bug again. Hopeless, head over heels in the moment. I never thought that I'd get bit by this love bug again.
Kissed her for the first time yesterday. Everything I wish that it would be. Suddenly I forgot how to speak. Hopeless, breathless, baby, can't you see? Now I'm
When I found out which song you were going to sing, I thought it was genius, since you 3 have very different voices, and this song has some very distinct parts suitable for different voice types, such as the climax in the end, which really requires a rocky voice like Hoodoo's. However, it is less genius now that you actually skipped a large part of the climax. That was very disappointing. But Hoodoo, you are one of the few people here who aren't afraid to exaggerate, and as a result, you have been kicking ass in this competition. I wasn't sure to even give you a yes in the auditions, which only proves it is possible to prove the judges wrong. And this competition is one of the few situations where I actually enjoy being proven wrong. But your singing does sound strained occasionally, which may be a sign for you to pull back a little bit or do some serious practice using your diaphragm support. because I am worried your voice will break at any second in the way you're pushing yourself. I am a bit worried to tell you this since I don't want you to lose that fantastic energy which brought you this far, but at the same time I don't want you to hurt yourself. I will link a video lesson about belting in the description, and hopefully that can help you in some way to make your singing still strong but healthy. Star, I'm glad your audio quality is better, as I think that was your main hindrance before. You were also someone I never expected to get this far, but in your later submissions you show that you have a great timbre and I think you sing really well. But I must give you this amazing tip. Did you hear how much better your edited intro recording in this episode sounded in comparison to the original? What I did was remove noise, add compressor, then 24 decibels of bass and then compressor again. And now it's almost studio quality, so I strongly recommend you to do the same for your future recordings. Just contact me if you want a more thorough explanation. I use Audacity, by the way. Robert, you sound very well in your middle to lower register. Your voice has a tenderness that I really enjoy, but when you try to sing slightly higher notes it sounds strained and not clean, except when you sing in falsetto, which you did last round, it sounded well. And this worries me because if you're straining already in this weaker dynamic, you're going to be very limited as a singer. I think you need to pick songs in a rather low key and try to extend your range over time by doing warm-up exercises.
Hoodoo, you've got a naturally rough sounding voice, but it was interesting to see how you incorporated that into the song. I really enjoyed some of the more gentle areas because it sounded smooth and well thought out. I also think you've got a great powerful side to your voice, however, some of the areas toward the end felt more like yelling than singing, and I think that if you apply just a touch of vibrato, it's going to make those notes sound fuller and more pleasant sounding. Otherwise, I think you added a great element to the song, and I would love to see what else you have in store. Robert, you have a nice tonal quality to your voice, and I also think that you've got great control over your breath support. I would recommend, however, being mindful of your vowels and rounding your I's. At times, your voice has a little bit of a whine to it, which is easy to do, especially in words that end in IND. That being said, I love how you utilized a little bit of vibrato toward the middle of the song, which created this gentle, lovely quality. Keep up the great work, and don't be afraid to use that vibrato. Star, you have a youthful sounding voice. It has this nice, clean tone, but I noticed that you're struggling a lot with the lower notes and you tend to fade off without enough diaphragm support. Always remember to sing with an upright posture, and it may even help to press on your diaphragm with your hand when you're singing those lower notes to remind yourself that you need added support in those areas. This performance was pleasant overall, and I think with a little fine-tuning on your vocal range, there will be a beautiful improvement.
Frozen Equinox, your entry is very simple and clean, which isn't necessarily bad. However, the further into it, the less I liked what I heard from any or all three of you. No one sounded particularly comfortable with the range or the intensity of the final chorus. Individually, your strongest member is definitely Hoodoo. He has the most support behind his voice. While this song doesn't have as obvious characterization as your previous entries, I am surprised and a little disappointed that you didn't try to do more with this song. Robert has a very natural warmth and resonance. You sang well, it wasn't particularly offensive, but you didn't really stand out either. However, Star, I was really not impressed this round. Titanium was very warm, and your higher notes sounded much more supported and natural than they do here. In this entry, you sound much less mature and really unsupported. Keep the air moving and supported by your diaphragm. This will help stabilize your pitch as well, which is really lacking by the end of the song.
The song I decided on singing was Keep Me Hanging On by The Supremes, an iconic song from an iconic girl group that just exudes these Motown vibes, and what I really like about it is how upbeat it is for a song seemingly about heartbreak.
Keep Me Hanging On was actually a great song to do for 3 people. We got to split the verses equally and do the choruses together, and it gives a chance for us to showcase our individual voices as well as show how well we blend. As far as struggles go, collaborating at a distance will cause setbacks. We're all in different time zones, so communication can get spotty. Also, the fact that we're all recording in unique locations means that the audio profile of the recording will be different from each other, making it just a little bit more harder to mix together.
Why don't you, baby? Get out my life, why don't you, baby? 'Cause you believe in me. You just keep me hanging on. coming around, playing with my heart. Why don't you get out of my life and let me make a new start? Let me get over you the way you gotten over me, yeah. Set me free, why don't you, babe? Let me be, why don't you, baby? 'Cause you don't really love me, you just keep me hanging on. Now you don't really want me, you just keep me hanging on. You say although we broke up, you still just wanna be friends. But how can we still be friends when seeing you only breaks my heart again? There ain't nothing I can do about it. Oh, 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 set me free, why don't you, babe? Get out my life, why don't you, babe? Set me free, why don't you, babe? Get out my life, why don't you, baby? You claim you still care for me, but your heart and soul needs to be free. Now that you've got your freedom, your heart is still hold on to me. You told me before you stayed, so let me find somebody else. Why don't you be a man about it and set me free? Now you don't care a thing about me, you're just using me. Go on, get out of my life and let me sleep at night. 'Cause you don't really love me, you just keep me hanging on.
Your voices and styles worked very well together, and you caught the groove and style of the song pretty well. While you didn't always agree solidly on pitch, your tone and style blended well enough in some parts of the song that I had to listen a few times to determine who was singing which part. I'll admit I was worried that you as a group wouldn't stay in front of the beat and on top of the tempo, but you did pretty well. Andrea, you did very well to give the song some momentum, and I enjoy your tone even more in this style. Unless I'm hearing incorrectly, Kim and Andrea really led this performance, or at least stood out the most, while Emanni got a little lost in the vocals.
I think Andrea and Kim did a fantastic job. Kim, you sound so mature in your low register, and in your higher register you sound ethereal, which we can hear in your previous entries. You have one of the widest ranges here, which makes you dangerous in this competition. But I'd like to hear some power. I think that can take you to the next level, if you do it well. Also be careful with your pitches, as it was pitchy at times. And you haven't yet sung anything that isn't about breakups, so just mix it up please. Andrea, you took this entry to the next level, I think. Your amazing resonance is going to take you far, but I do fear you're becoming a one-trick pony. Can you sing in a high-head voice or with more power? Can you do anything that isn't a strong middle to low range? Because that is your strong point, but I'd like to know if you can be more versatile than that. If you can be, I could very well see you go all the way. Right now, I'm not sure. Emanni, I'm afraid I didn't like your parts at all. It all was a slur, I didn't understand a word you sang. Additionally, the pitches were out and about. Maybe you could have used for the tone deafness test as well as practicing diction. I do think your mic had something to do with it though, so either use a better mic if you can, or try editing your sound better. Add treble for more clarity, and compressor. Compressor is the most important thing, and make sure the instrumental is not overpowering your voice. Your sound quality was great in your previous entry, so whatever you did there, continue doing that, if you make it through this round.
Andrea, your voice has a warm, rich tone. Lower notes seem to be your strong point. I love how you transitioned from singing to the speaking part on your verse because it not only felt natural, but you didn't switch from a head voice to a chest voice like a lot of people do in that situation. The only thing that I can advise for this performance is to maintain the energy in your voice because at times you lose that warm tone and do sound a little bit bored. Otherwise, I think you did a wonderful job and I can't wait to see what else you have in store. Emanni, I think you have a great middle range type of voice. It has warm elements to it, but I would love to see you work on your dictation. I had a really difficult time understanding what you were saying without actually looking at the lyrics and following along. Your voice has a very muffled sound in this performance. I would like to see you play around with exaggerating your words until you find a method that works for you. Overall, I think that you had delightful harmonies and you took on some of the more difficult notes to perform without sounding too harsh or flat. Kim, you've got a rich and powerful voice. I really enjoyed listening to this. One area that I would like to see improvement on, however, is the end of your words. I'm not sure if this is a recording issue, but at the end of phrases I'm hearing things like around, lie, star, instead of around, life, and start. And I know this is a difficult area to improve on, especially when editing, because I know that you can accidentally cut off the end of your phrases, especially when using Audacity. All in all, I think that you are a strong competitor for this challenge, and I am looking forward to hearing more from you.
Thanks for watching. See you soon with the result.